NHRA National Event winner.
So I had no intentions of filming this car, this project that I really didn't want to work on. But found out yesterday we're not going racing until August. So you are going to get this project in progress, deep in progress. It is a 2010 Mini Cooper. As you can see, I have very much already disassembled it, but it's actually a pretty dang nice car. It belongs to my kid Kale. He is not necessarily the most mechanically inclined individual. Not sure exactly what happened to this thing other than to put it in top fuel terms, it dropped a hole. Had no compression on one cylinder. I even made a post about it and a bunch of people commented. Had a buddy of mine come out and looked at it. He does a lot of import cars, and basically he told me that, you know, it's $3,000 to put a head gasket on it. He assumed that's what it was. Again, pretty nice little car. So I figured the heck with it. The car's not worth, but I don't know, you know, it's a $5,000 car or something, so it ain't worth nothing the way it was. And I decided if it ain't worth nothing, it's already kind of becoming yard art, and I pushed it in the shop in the corner over behind the toter home. Whew, talk about compact. These little things are definitely piled off in there. They are not easy to work on. As you can see, it is fooling under the hood of this thing. And when I got it apart, I'm gonna tell you, it was not easy getting it apart. There was a lot of YouTube involved, but check this out. Check out that piston. It is freaking smoked. Not sure what caused that, but I have honed the cylinder out with a dingle ball hone. Not the most ideal way to do it. Put a piston in it, put some new rod bolts in it, and the good folks at Denso have sent me like all kinds of O2 sensors and different things for this. Whoop, dropping stuff, and they've sent me some parts for it. Got some stuff from Parts Plus for it. Got brand new, it is a direct injected deal. Got new injectors for it because I really don't know what caused this thing to smoke a piston like that. I mean, it scuffed it just like it's a fuel car. You know, it's nuts. The cylinder head, which is sitting right here, ended up having to get it decked because it was not flat. It was not flat by about 7 thousandths, so y'all are going to get to see some of the reassembly. Even got a brand new radiator from Denso I'm gonna stick in it. Like I say, new injectors are in it, all kinds of stuff. It may never run again, but it's the new project at the moment, thanks to COVID-19. All right, man, check out the COVID hair. It's like got the whoosh going. Like, I don't know if that's Elvis hair. I don't know what that is. Man, just fresh out of the shower though. Hair kind of a little crazy. All right, gonna work on this Mini Cooper. This thing, as I told you, heard a piston. The more I do, the more I find. The more there is to be done. It is like a bomb went off over there, and I do not like a messy shop, but I have got one going right now. So I have been waiting on this plastic lightweight little tube. There is supposed to be an O-ring on the end of this, and it was not one on there. I ordered a new tube because, I don't know if you can really see this or not, I thought there should be a provision on the end of this for a O-ring. Well, there is supposed to be an O-ring there, and that's a good chance of what happened to this car. So the new one just came in, and there is an O-ring on there, but it's not exactly built exactly the way I thought. But I think this may have been what happened to the car. Camera set up. Mini Cooper, cylinder head.
Programming
Go!
Are you working with artificial intelligence? Are they specifically trying to mimic the developmental?
For some reason I keep finding things to do besides work on this car. Like start the hedger. I cheated, by the way. It hadn't been started all year. Did I say hedger? I meant edger. Greatest stuff ever made. If you got a lawnmower, something been setting for you a year, well, maybe not that long. Whatever time, last time Donna used the edger, got old gas in it. Gas don't last very long. Thing don't want to start. You can get yourself some CRC brake clean, knock the air filter off that thing real quick, give her a squirt, give it a pull, it runs. I love this stuff. Use it all the time. Thank you, CRC. Well, I don't want to call what I was doing procrastinating because Donna asked me to get the old edger started. But now, let's put a head on a Mini Cooper. Yay! Cylinder head's bolted on. Pretty straightforward. Simple. Okay, torque to yield, yada, yada, yada. You know, give her a little torque, then a couple of 45-degree turns, and boom, it's on. Now, that, pretty simple. Scrape marks, bleeding, all of that is trying to get to, I don't know if you can see this or not, but trying to get to plugging in the injectors. Got those plugged in finally, make my hands bleed like crazy. But now, the intake is about 6 inches off from where it needs to be. Did I do something wrong? Do I got something in the way? Probably. Am I going to take the head back off? No. Will a hammer be required? Stay tuned. These Mini Coopers are weird, and again, there's going to be probably a lot of people that watch this that work on them and they understand them and it all makes sense to them. But, got the head on, got the intake on, got the water tube in there, and I actually got all the water hoses hooked up. I got a bunch of the wiring hooked back up. But what I wanted to tell you about right now is this thing doesn't have timing marks. Like, if you think about an old 440, small block Chevrolet, whatever, you got a cam gear and you got a crank gear. This thing's dual overhead cam, I get it. I know what you're thinking. But you have timing marks. Small block Chevrolet, cam gear, put the dot towards the bottom, crank gear, put the dot towards the top, bam, you are in time. Pretty dang simple. That's all there is to it. This thing, you have to buy a tool kit, which I did, and under the bottom, you rotate the motor, and you've got this little tool that has got two little steps on it. All it is a freaking round piece of metal, one size and another size, and you stick this tool in essentially where the dust cover should be. Again, if you think back to a Torque Flight or, you know, a Turbo 350, and you rotate the motor while trying to push this tool into the flywheel. When that tool goes into the flywheel, and you can no longer turn the motor because this tool has been inserted into the flywheel, it's not top dead center, but that is where you time the motor. So that takes care of where the pistons are. And essentially, if you look, the pistons are about halfway down the bore. and they are all straight across from each other. Unlike the normal V8 where number 1 is up, 1843657 unless you're talking about an LS firing order, blah, 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 blah. So this thing, the pistons are halfway down the bore. Then now you've got to figure out where the cams go. So that's what I'm going to show you here right quick. So this tool I bought, not only does it have this little thing that goes in the flywheel. I'm horrible at doing this. This is all iPhone, by the way. Where are they? Come on, where are you at? Where's my hand? Here, follow my hand. So, okay, there we go. So right here, this piece and this piece come out of the toolkit that I bought on eBay. The cam has 3 flats on it, and you can see, probably, maybe, I wrote on here up on both cams just so that I wouldn't get it screwed up, but there's 3 flats, and you just rotate the cam. You grab it with a crescent wrench, not a crescent wrench. Yeah, a crescent wrench will work. But you rotate the cams around where this tool can grab. It's flat here, flat on each side. And that cam is in place, same thing over here. And you bolt them down to where the valve cover goes. Strange. The other weird thing, and I'll probably show some of this, is the timing set that goes on here. A lot of plastic. The slides. Well, the crank gear does not have a keyway. When you've got the device in the flywheel, you've got those things on the camshaft, everything's where it's supposed to be, and you drop the timing set down in there, that's it. Weird. I'll try to show you that as well, maybe. I don't know. Man, how about that COVID hair? Check out the COVID hair. Big hair. I need a haircut so bad. But anyway, I really need to go racing worse than anything. And I really should have had somebody else work on this car. But we're not racing, not working. It's giving me something to do besides construction work, which I hate. See you guys in a minute. All right. Got the cylinder head on. Got the intake on, got the injectors plugged up, got all the water hoses on, I think. Well, that means it is now time for timing chain. Showed you the camshafts are in time, I think. Got the engine in time, I think. Timing chain. Yeah, check this set out up. Got all this big old plastic slides the chain rides in. Cam gears. Another slide that goes up there. I don't think I got a new one for that. All this stuff just drops down. You literally just drop it right down in there and try to lasso over the crankshaft, bolt the gears up. I hope that's all correct. All right. I got to be honest, I do not remember which way this goes, but it looks like the cam tensioner goes in on that side, so how do I keep the chain from falling down in there? A magnet, extendable magnet. Let's see what happens here. Can it be that simple? I guess it can. Do I know if the crank gear's in the right spot? I don't know. Wow, that's scary. I'm nervous. Where? So this thing does not really have a harmonic balancer on it. It's just got this little piece that the pulley bolt's on. All right. So it's really weird to me. that is the only thing that basically turns the belt on this thing. Goes in there, no keyway, no nothing. The bottom pulley bolts on here. And I guess it just crushes the timing gear, the oil pump gear. And people are going to watch this that work on these things, and they're going to definitely tell me how wrong I did it, but I'm getting there. So apparently I've put the slide in backwards because I do know, remember, this gear goes on this side and it does not work. Oh, I have that backwards. I don't know if you can see that or not, but the slide is preventing me from getting the cam gear on. All right, let's get back after our quarantine Mini Cooper. We are getting very close to seeing if this thing will run. Anyway, today we will get the exhaust manifold, the turbo back on here. At least I hope we do. Have been waiting on some parts to come in. They have made it. Put some new gaskets in the oil cooler because apparently that is a Mini Cooper problem. Let's get after it, shall we? All right, y'all. I'm out here in the shop today working on this 2010 Mini Cooper. Been a little bit of a slow project that I've been working on for a little while. Changing the head gasket, doing a couple other little things. But we're at a good spot because I'm about to put the exhaust manifold back on and the turbo. This is the downpipe for the turbo. And you'll notice right here, there's an opening here and one here. And what that's for is your O2 sensor. So O2 sensors are built to monitor their air-fuel ratio, and they work when you're at idle and moderate acceleration, but when you're stomping on the loud pedal, basically these things kind of go, they're taken out of the loop, and then the car's just kind of running at full throttle. The onboard computer monitors all that stuff, but a lot of times when you're driving down the road, your old nasty O2 sensor that I just took out of here will quit working. And Denso makes some really nice ones. They sent me a couple for this project. Come with a little anti-seize you wipe around there because it gets really hot, obviously, because it's in the exhaust. But O2 sensors are basically one of the things that your onboard computer system, since fuel injections come around, helps keep the air-fuel ratio exactly where it needs to be. All right, y'all. Here we are under the old dirty 2010 Mini Cooper project I've been working on. So here's my Denso O2 sensor, nice, clean, new, got some anti-seize on the threads. It simply screws right in past the catalytic converter on this car. These cars have, a lot of cars do actually have a O2 sensor in front of and behind the O2, These cars have an O2 sensor in front of and behind the catalytic converter. So that socket I was telling you about that I do not have, I have the fit-all, a spanner, the old crescent wrench. You don't have to go crazy cranking these things down, just snug it up because it does have a little metal gasket that seals it up, because if you don't seal it up, you'll have an exhaust leak and your car will sound horrible. So that's that. Just got to reach up here and plug this in, pretty simple. And that is the install of a Denso O2 sensor. Remember, If the light comes on the dash, it's a good chance it's these right here. Well, we're getting closer and closer. This thing is buttoned up and pretty much got to dump the Valvoline, the send power in this thing, 5W30 flavor. Top her off. See if it'll start. I don't know if I'm confident or not, but we shall see. You know, this whole freaking Mini Cooper project has been odd. A lot of it just simply because I don't know how to work on these cars. You know, if I had been rebuilding an old 426 Hemi or something, I would not be going, well, I'm not sure if this thing's going to run or not. Not sure if I got all the wires hooked up. Not saying that I can put a blown nitro Hemi together perfectly, because everybody screws up and makes a mistake every now and then. But I can tell you this, I feel way better about when we start one of those things than when I'm about to start this one. This car, if I had to have done this like in a hurry, somebody else would have been doing it, just because it is very compact, very piled in here. Not a lot of room for anything. Thank goodness for YouTube, because without that, being able to go and look and check out what was what and how this works, yeah, I would have definitely had a bunch of trouble. But because of the COVID-19 and all the other house projects we've had going, just wasn't in no gigantic hurry. That is for sure. So when the aggravation level got up a little bit, I would just simply go in the house, dig on some YouTube for the Mini Coopers. There's several videos out there that you can find, and it looks so much easier than when you're actually doing it. Anyway, we're close, guys. We are making this a big time production here on the attempted first start. One iPhone to another iPhone. We are making this a big time production here on the attempted first start. One iPhone to another iPhone. Well, shall we give it a go? See if Mr. Mini Cooper will come to life. I gotta admit, I'm a bit nervous. Here we go. Radio still comes on. I don't know how to turn it off.
Get in the zone. Auto zone.
I know how to change channels, apparently. Huh. Where's off? Off. Volume. Wow, y'all, I'm really having trouble here. I'll be right back. All right. I figured out how to turn the radio off. So now you know why I'm worried about trying to start the car, because I couldn't even figure out how to turn the radio off. 2010 Mini Cooper. Let's hit the start button. It's spinning. Nothing's happening. Lots of turning over. Lots of spinning over. Golly, I feel like I better get out and make sure there's nothing leaking, just because it has been completely apart. Looks good under there. Had the drain pan under there just in case. Gotta love the sound of Mini Cooper makes. Whoopa, whoopa. It is freaking, oh, it ran for a moment. It ran for a moment. Come on, baby. Whoop, there it is. Absolutely running. How about that? Bam! I'm amazed. I'm shocked. It still ain't happy, but it's running. I'm sure I gotta find somebody to clear codes and do all of that. New piston in it, 4 new injectors, head gasket, valve job. But it's not knocking. Yay! Hey Brent, remember that freaking Mini Cooper that I said is your fault? That, yeah, I started working on it because YouTube and PFI Speed encouraged me to do so. Well, it's taking a little while because I had to wait on parts so much, but check this out. It runs on all 4 cylinders. Let's go! And there she is, the 2010 Mini Cooper Clubman S Turbo with the twice pipes. Man, spent a lot of time getting this bad boy ready to go. Proud to say I got it all put back together. Had no parts left over. And that is where this video should actually end. Spooling up the turbo, maybe spinning the tires, which it won't do. It's an automatic, so you can't rev her up and dump the clutch. But that's how it should end. And we should have an alternate ending on this YouTube video, but we won't, because I gotta tell the truth. Having did all this work, I should have spent a little more time and took it apart and did it correctly, because I did spool up the turbo, I did stomp on that loud pedal, and this is what happened. Right here, that is a rod bearing. A rod bearing is not supposed to have a flange on it. Nope, that is not supposed to be there. Dang thing absolutely smoked the bearing out of it, and it was not where I pulled this piston out. That piston was the start of the original problem, whatever caused that. I still never figured it out. Long story short, I don't know what's going to happen to that thing. But I can tell you this. I measured the engine compartment, sent photos of those measurements to one Jeff Lutz. What's going to happen? Who knows? Stay tuned. May see it again soon, or maybe not. Thanks guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. It was definitely not a how-to. It was a how not to, for sure. Please like and subscribe. Hope y'all enjoyed this silly little video. I had fun doing it, even though the car's broke. Still. See ya.